So PFL CEO Don Davis is embarrassing themselves again. You know, on this channel we talk about PFL and people agree UFC needs a competitor. As an MMA fan you want competition, and as a fighter especially, but since Don Davis came out and basically admitted he doesn't like MMA, well, hope has been lost. And let me show you his year in review. He posted on LinkedIn. So he says building companies is hard, setbacks, uncertainty and pain, requiring creativity and perseverance. Social media celebrates the triumphs of success. This post is the opposite. We took hard punches in 2024. So I wonder if you can picture what it's like being a fighter in his company that can't get a fight. The uncertainty and pain, while he's purely a rich CEO capitalist and will always have a job somewhere. He could probably retire now even, he's 68. But I digress. Maybe he talks about that here. Number 1. Numerous potential investors wasted thousands of hours of our time, and our time is so precious. So that's his number 1. How annoyed would you be as a fighter who can't work and make money after he bought Bellator if his number 1 is he can't get more investment money? But how in shambles is the company when they have potential investors, but then they sit down with them and go, these guys have no idea what they're doing and burning money. Paying Francis Ngannou $7 million and his opponent $1 million for a fight that does 10,000 pay-per-view buys. Better yet, this is rumoured, but they say they increased his pay by $5 million, so now it's $12 million for this next fight. How crazy is that? I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC is fake negotiating with Francis to make PFL pay more. If that is true, the numbers aren't adding up. It's been unprofitable for 6 years, and you buy another unprofitable company in Bellator and you can't even run it. Then let Francis hold your nuts over the fire when he has zero leverage. He's robbing the bank, for Christ's sakes. They aren't wasting your time, you're wasting theirs, and you're also wasting fighters' time by putting them on ice. So moving on, major advertisers reneged on the deal. See, that's these venture capitalists. They just want to boost the numbers sheet to sell off the company. The two things he cares about is more investment and more advertisers. He's not talked about the fighters or the shows yet. It's all about spreadsheets because he's looking to throw this like a hot potato. Thirdly is when he finally talks about the fighters. Some Bellator star fighters complained on social media, making PFL look like not meet our contracts. Look like not meet our contracts. That shows how much he cares right there. He couldn't even properly form the sentence. And that's all he has to say about it, is it made me look bad. If you're a Bellator fighter, I couldn't imagine the rage. Some of these guys like Pitbull are 38. They have literally 2 or 3 years left before the body shuts down on them and they're all used up. And they can't get a fight. They can't work. They can't feed their families. What does Don Davis do? He puts on his LinkedIn saying, oh, they're whining on social media, making us look like we don't meet our contracts. Don, you just talked about the uncertainty when running a company, the perseverance needed. Imagine the uncertainty these guys are facing while actually taking the hard punches in the face. You care about optics. No apology. Childish behaviour. Completely childish. Number 4 though, PFL is growing so fast with our new leagues, running costs are high. Stop opening leagues. What the hell? Make PFL profitable first. They had Cedric Doumbé, a super hype kickboxer from France. He had a Joe Rogan podcast episode. He had him fight on PFL Europe, which the American market fans can't access. Why would you take a guy who just had a podcast with Joe Rogan off the American market? This feels like a scam. Making all these new leagues, buying Bellator to inflate the worth of PFL. If it worked, we would have seen UFC Africa or UFC Europe already. Now UFC popularity has peaked, they start doing Dana White Contender Series as a feeder league. Guys can get a highlight KO or a war to promote them before they get into the UFC. They aren't splitting up the UFC though. They aren't stupid. Number 5, major new initiative and expansion is delayed on 1 full year by one of our partners through no fault of the PFL. No idea what that's in reference to. Maybe someone in the comments could fill us in there. Further on, he says, like all entrepreneurial companies, PFL battled, navigated and solved. Do not let others fool you, keep you down, blah blah blah. To all the entrepreneurs who survived, declare victory. Just sniffing his own farts at this point. Is PFL profitable? Nope. Has the Bellator purchase failed with guys getting cut and not getting fights? Yes. Did the Francis Ngannou play fail? Yes. Investors and advertisers are laughing you out the room. How did this guy, Don Davis, declare victory over 2024 exactly? It just sounds like Saudi money is keeping PFL, Bellator going. It's like a charity, seriously. Anyway, let me know your views in the comments. We will have to stay tuned for more news. That's the video.